Oh, hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. Hey, if you liked the video, click that like button and click subscribe so that you'll get notifications whenever we post new content. Appreciate you watching. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone. Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. Turkey season's over. We're fixing to make a transition here on the channel into doing a lot of fishing. This is mid-spring right now. Getting a lot of rain, a lot of wet weather, a lot of warmer temperatures though, and the fish are really starting to bite. I really should have been fishing a month ago, but I really wanted to get a turkey, and I hunted hard. I didn't even attempt to not hunt. On bad days I still went hunting. You saw several videos. We saw so many turkeys, so many nice tom turkeys, and just it didn't work out, guys. That's part of it. That's hunting. But if you've watched the channel for a little while, you've heard us talk about the coyote problem here on the farm, and we got a problem. I've got a lot of footage from different coyotes. I've got some coyotes that probably, if I can get them on the ground, will be mountable pelts. Would be really nice pelts. We actually had one the other night we got on film that was probably 80% black, and you don't see that very often, not in this area anyway. But what we're going to do is we're going to do something today to get prepared for a coyote hunt. I'm going to take my Savage B mag. It's in 17 Winchester Super Mag, and I've got my ATN X-Sight Pro mounted on it. It's got the big Coyote Reaper light on it, but we're not going to need it for the first couple of hunts. Going to hunt in the daylight because I think that big black coyote is a male, and he's coming through early in the morning, just after daylight in the morning, and I think he's coming through checking to see if any of the females in the area are starting to come into heat, and I'm hoping I can catch him in the daylight hours and get some good film footage and get him on the ground, because he's a really nice looking dog. But what we're going to do is, in this video, we're going to concentrate on one-shot zero. Now, one-shot zero, most anybody that's hunted much, especially if you hunt with scopes on rifles, you understand what one-shot zero is. You hold a point of aim, you shoot, then you move your reticles to the point of impact, and that lines up your rifle pretty much dead on. It's a little difficult sometimes, unless you got a real good place to shoot, real good bench rest, or some kind of something to help you hold that rifle dead still, because if you're part ways in the process of moving your reticle from point of aim to point of impact, and the rifle moves, you bump it a little bit or something, you got to start all over. You got to shoot again and then start the whole process over, because you've only got one set of reticles to deal with. And if they're based on the location where the rifle was when you shot it, if that location changes, then when you move over to point of impact, it's not going to be right, because your rifle's in the wrong location. With the ATN X-Sight Pro, when you do their one-shot zero, it is an actual true one-shot zero. You use two reticles. Okay, when you look down the scope and you line up your point of aim on the target and you shoot, and then when you go to move your reticle over to your point of impact, the white set of reticles stays in place. The white crosshair stays in place, and a red set actually travels to your point of impact. Once you've got it there, you just go in and save that, gun's zeroed. Even if you move the rifle, if something happens and you bump the rifle or something, all you do is just move your point of aim, the white reticle, back to where you were aiming, and continue on about your business of moving the red ones to your point of impact. Once you've made that shot off of the setup, once you've started the setup, it doesn't matter if you pick the rifle up and you can move it 4 feet, as long as you bring it back and set the white reticles back on your point of aim and then you can continue moving the red ones till you get to your point of impact, and you got a true one-shot zero. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to connect my phone to it and see if I can't do a screen capture when we actually go to move the reticles, and show you how that works, because it's really hard to film down the scope because it doesn't really ever look right. But if I can do a screen capture, then I'll be able to show you full screen of what we're doing. Now, to show you what I'm going to be shooting off of, I actually have a real nice heavy camera tripod. This is a heavy camera tripod that has a lot of different adjustments. And what I've got on here is I modified my Shot Steady rig that Shot Steady sent to me to do a video with, and there we have a video on it as well. I'll post the link in the description. But what I did, I took the top half, it screws apart. I took the top half and I inserted a 1/4-20 bolt and bolted a camera base to the bottom of that so that I can just lock it right in the camera foot for these tripods, and then I've got 100% mobility, and I can move the rifle any way I want, and I can tighten stuff down and leave it just the way I want, and I'll use this in the field when I hunt exactly the same. It's kind of like you can buy the big expensive tripods that a lot of guys shoot off of, and I guess those are cool too. I mean, I'd like to have one, but I can't afford to give $300 for a tripod to shoot off of. I'm sorry, man, call me cheapy, but it's not I'm cheapy, it's I'm brokey, there it is. But this system works. This whole deal, you can do exactly the same thing with it, and it works the same way. Now, it may not be great to be dragging around in the deep woods and take abuse like some of those big aluminum tripods you get that you pay the $300 or $400 for, but on the range, when you're doing it like this and you're doing this one-shot zero, stuff like that, or if you're going to a place where you're going to be setting up and not moving a lot, works just fine. And like I said, you don't have to hold that rifle and that big heavy scope and all that, because this rifle with that scope on it and that light on it, probably looking at 15 pounds, maybe 16 pounds, and it doesn't sound like a lot till you sit and hold it all day long. But if you got something that can bear the weight of it, and this can handle the weight of it, no problem. And then when you need to aim, all I need to do is loosen up one handle, and then I can completely move and work the rifle in any direction. I can follow an animal with it just fine, but the tripod is still carrying the whole weight of the rifle. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is we're going to try to get set up, and we're going to do a one-shot zero with this scope. And like I said, I'm going to try to show you how to do it by screenshot or by screen capture video, but once I connect my phone to the sight. So let's get to it. Okay, we've got a target set up downrange, about 50 yards. That's where I want to get it pretty close to zero at. And like I said, I'm going to shoot off this bipod. So now I'm going to close the bolt, push the round into the chamber, get on target, squeeze one off, and then move the reticles, and we'll be done. Okay, all now I need to do is move my reticle. Okay, I'm going to hold my point of aim right where I had it, over about 2 inches, up one more. You go in and click save, and that's all there is to it. Tell you what, I'm going to throw one more through it and see how we did. We'll walk down and take a look at it. Oh, okay, that ejected my empty cartridge. Don't need to worry about keeping those for reloading because they're rimfire. but I will police them up so we don't hit them with the mower and maybe bust a window or put somebody's eye out. Alright, second shot just to see how we did. Alright. We are clear and open. Let's take a walk down the hill and see if we got in that 2-inch spot. And with me, with coyote hunting, I like to try to save the pelts. So I don't hunt with a large caliper. So what I do is I push myself down to shooting with a smaller caliper, but reducing the area in which I'll shoot from. Okay. I don't think that's too bad. I'll take that. Alright, we know we're pretty good. We're on the orange, but we're good shape. 50 yards, we're shooting 3/4 inch spot. I'll take that all day. You know, I mean, when you're coyote hunting, that's fine. I want to put a couple on steel plate down there, just to be sure and kind of listen to the impact of these little 17 caliber bullets. They're a very small bullet, but they are honking when they come out of this thing. So let's see if we can't put one on that steel plate down there. Hear that? I like that. That's a lot of impact power for a teeny tiny little bullet. You don't need a 308 or a 30-06 or even a 243 unless you don't care about the pelts. If you don't care about the pelts, hey man, shoot what you feel comfortable with. These little 177 Winchester Super Mags, if you kiss them at the bottom of the ear or you kiss them between the eyes, it's lights out, baby. That's it. It's done. Guys, I appreciate y'all watching this video. I hope you learned something and you saw how easy the One-Shot Zero is with these X-Sight Pro scopes. As long as that white set stays with your point of aim, just keep that working until you get the red set where you want it. And you can zoom in a little bit to fine-tune it if you need to do that as well. But it's a really handy tool, guys. These ATN scopes, they're not super crazy expensive. They're not dirt cheap. You know, you're not going to pick one up for $100, but they're a handy tool. You know, especially if you're going to have limited area where you can shoot and sight in, so you don't need to be trying to shoot a lot of shots. If you want to be able to film your hunts, these things also have video on them when you're using them, so that, and it does have audio on the video, so you can talk over what you're doing when you're shooting. It has a 5-second, I think, shot delay. Maybe it's 10 seconds. One of the two is 5 or 10 seconds. You can set it so that the scope kind of turns itself off to save power, and then if you shoot, it's recoil activated and it records from the first 5 or 10 seconds before the shot to the 5 or 10 seconds after the shot. Just try one of these. You know, you can get them now. A lot of times you can catch them. A lot of these sales now for $500. And get the 5x20. That's the one that's got the long zoom, and especially if you coyote hunt, that's awesome. I've got this Coyote Reaper hour light mounted on the side of this one, and you can set up with this thing and you can see forever with that light. I mean, farther than I would ever even think about shooting with especially with this small of a caliper, because out to about 100 yards you're doing good. After you get out about 100 yards, you're going to need something a little bit healthier. But you can watch them, and if you call them in, it's so cool to be able to watch them come up through the field or up through the wooded area where you're at and listen to your calls, see what they do, and it'll help you get educated on what coyotes do. Because believe me when I say this, you're going to get fooled a lot, because a lot of times a coyote reads the wind. If there's a little bit of crosswind, they will go downwind of the area where they're listening to that call at to see if they can't get downwind of it and see if they can smell something, because especially if they've ever been shot at or they've ever busted somebody that was hunting, then every time that happens, that makes them smarter. So you got to get smarter with them. But guys, I hope this was an educational video. We will be doing some coyote hunts in the next few days. I'm going to try to get the black one if I can, because he's got a really beautiful pelt, and I'm going to try to get him mounted. If that's in the budget, we're going to have to see. I have to talk to the finance minister. But guys, I appreciate y'all watching these videos, and I'll see you in the next one. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone. Hey y'all, appreciate you watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone.